All right, NBA awards for about that time. So let's start off with the first NBA award, MVP. Who do you got winning MVP?
So after being shut out the last couple of years, because it seems like it's just going to come down to Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic as far as it seems right now, and those have been the three guys that have won the last three years. And with Jokic, I really do see his case. It's just we've been talking about it all year with him possibly going for three in a row, and that's just a really huge milestone. And you kind of have to be above and beyond exceptional for, at least in my opinion, for you to go three in a row. So for this year's NBA MVP, I'm choosing the guy that does not have one, and one Joel Embiid, I think, is this year's NBA MVP.
That's a good pick. I went with Giannis just for the simple fact, bro, Giannis and the Bucks have been so good this year, and you could give me the argument the Bucks are still a great team without Giannis, but I don't think they're as dominant as they are without Giannis. Because, bro, Giannis's stats are unbelievable, and he's just dominating the whole season. And best team,
Best team in the NBA, I was gonna say,
yeah, and they're the
yeah.
first seed, so I still have to get that. That deserves some points.
The first seed and honestly the harder conference this year too.
Well, yeah, people will say the West, but I feel like that's
I
depending
mean,
on who they want.
Embiid was on a team with 54 wins and they're in third place, and the Nuggets just won the West with 53 wins.
Yeah, man. All right. So now we got Rookie of the Year.
So this one is tough, and there's a lot of candidates out there. Um, Honestly, this is like when I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I don't have a vote, even though I'm jealous and I want to be able to put my input into who wins these awards. But this one is really tough because you have the number one overall pick, Paolo Banchero, who averaged a cool 20 points a game as a rookie, being the number one option for a team that wasn't spectacularly bad. Like they're not in the running for Victor this year, but wasn't good either. So I'm gonna personally go Paolo. He averaged 20 points a game, almost four assists a game, almost seven rebounds a game as a rookie. Like I said, being the number one option, but I wouldn't be mad at anybody that selects Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder because he averaged 14 points a game, I would say, as the number two scoring option. I think Giddy's probably the number two for that team behind Shea as far as talent goes. But, Giddy's the guy that likes to get people involved. Jalen goes 14 points a game as a rookie, three assists, 4.5 rebounds a game. And then the thing that I like the most is that he's shooting 36% from three. Which I mean, which we've seen, rookies struggle. Even good shooters coming from college struggle to adjust to the NBA game. And for Jalen Williams, a guy that went to a small college, came in a little bit under the radar. I think he had an excellent season. So for me, it would personally be between Jalen Williams and Paolo.
That's good. I went opposite direction. I went with a guy who's not one of the best, who went into the team. He's not the best player, but he did make a lot of noise, and he surprised a lot of us. I'm going Benedict Mathurin. I think he's been awesome this whole year for the Pacers, and the reason I'm giving him my vote is because he went to a team, like I said, he wasn't the best player. He had to be behind the scoring options of Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, and Buddy Hield. Outside of that, he was the best. He was the fourth best player in the team as a rookie with a team with some good players. I didn't think Buddy Hield and Miles Turner would be on the team this year. I thought they'd be on a different team by the start of the season, or at least at the trade deadline. But he had probably one of the best summer league actions out of all the rookies, and then he comes into the year talking a lot of game, and he's been really good. He's been really good. So I'm gonna give it to someone who I think made a great impact. I think Paulo's been the best rookie, but in terms of impact, I think Benedict Mathurin had the best impact personally. Because the Pacers, they have a building block now with Benedict and Tyrese Halliburton. So I love them. I would love for Benedict to get some love for rookie of the year.
Yeah, I agree with you, and especially he started the season off really well, scoring wise, and he had some games early in the season where you're like, what are we witnessing here?
Yeah.
Because he
LeBron
was
had to
go,
prove he's better than him.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Benedict Mathurin is going to be a fun player to watch. I think we honestly got blessed with this rookie class. I like a lot of the guys in it, and we'll see how next year's rookie class goes with the pending selection of one Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller that we've seen at Alabama this year. So I think it's gonna be a similar conversation next year when we have this discussion, because I think there's a couple guys that are gonna be deserving of it again for the following year.
You mean Victor for both of us?
I mean, we'll see. I think Scoot has a chance just because he's played in the G League. I want to see how Victor's body hangs up, and who knows, there might be another late riser like Jalen Williams.
Could be, could be. So now let's get to sixth man of the year. I picked Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay, not bad at it at all. Not
I
bad
mean,
at it at
because
all.
he's what, the third scoring option on the Celtics. He's averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and on a team where the two guys, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, have so many shots that he's limited to what he's been able to do offensively is Brogdon. But also, I feel like, bro, we know Malcolm Brogdon's a good player. It was just health, and he's done that this year. So I personally would pick him as sixth man.
So for me, I'm gonna go kind of similar boat. I'm going a point guard for a team in the Eastern Conference, but I'm going with one Emmanuel Quickly. And when you look at their stats, it's actually kind of scary how similar their season is. So for this season, Quickly and Brogdon both average 14.9 points per game. Brogdon finished the season at 3.7 assists per game, Quickly 3.4. Brogdon 3.6 rebounds per game, Quickly 3.4 rebounds per game. So the main reason I'm going Quickly, you mentioned it a little bit. The one thing, we've been waiting to see, and he's actually given it to us this year, is a fully healthy Malcolm Brogdon season. Still, he played 67 games, Quickly played 81 games, and I think especially towards the end of the season when Brunson was dealing with those foot issues, I think he was a huge
Fair point.
a huge bone to that Knicks offense. And considering that they really only added or that they only added really Jalen Brunson to that team, and that they've held steady at the 5th seed pretty much all year, I think it just goes to show that they kind of deserve to have some recognition. And in a year where there's not a clear runaway winner like we usually have for the sixth man of the year, I'm fine giving it to Emmanuel Quickly.
No, Quickly's been really good. It's kind of crazy. His rookie year, he was so good, and then after that, we all expected that, but then it just didn't come to fruition, and now he's simply back. And I think
Yeah.
what really helped was bringing in Brunson, and then you also have Hart now. So now
Yeah,
he
the
can
Hart
really.
addition's huge. Yeah.
So it really helped Quickly. He doesn't have to put all that pressure on himself to come off the bench and score like 20 points. No, he could just come off the bench, score like a quick like 15, play some solid defense, and be like a force in transition. If he could help them get out in transition better, that would be good.
One
But
of the guys I wish I could have made a case for, but I just think he came on a little bit too late in the season, is low-key Austin Reeves. I think if he would have been in the rotation the entire
yeah,
season, because he's up to 40% shooting on threes, and
he's
he
been big for the
he
Lakers.
plays a lot for them. Like, he's low-key important to that Lakers team.
Yeah, he plays almost starter minutes every night.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's somebody I wanted to, but I just thought, he didn't have the sustained period of excellence throughout the season. Came on a little bit later in the year.
That's fair. And then last big award, Defensive Player of the Year. Now,
This one's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to see interested to see how the voting shakes out for this one.
now, obviously, if we had our own personal choice, I'm pretty sure we would have the same vote and pick Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
But we know that's not how it works. So, for Defensive Player of the Year for me, I don't like doing this just because, man, he's on the best team, and I'm like, man, I don't want to give another award to another guy on the best team, but I'm going Brook Lopez for Defensive Player of the Year. He's had such a great year, both offensively and defensively. Like, he's got to win something.
Yeah, and I mean, he has the third best opponent's field goal against him at the rim this year. He's been an absolute great rim protector. Seems to get at least 3 blocks a game in pretty much all of the Bucks games that we see. And he's had an excellent season, and it's like, it kind of sucks for guys like this that are like just excellent and there's no award recognition. It's not like, I don't think he's going to make All NBA or anything like that, but defensively and offensively, I think Brooke Lopez has been absolutely huge for the Bucks. So I have no problem doing that. And I really do think it would be cool if he wins Defensive Player of the Year because so much of the criticism about him at the beginning of the year, of the beginning of his career, was he was slow-footed big man that you would have to basically plan your defense around
Now he's
because
one of the best rim protectors in basketball.
it's crazy how life works, man. It's crazy how life works. But for me, I'm gonna go Jaren Jackson Jr. So I said that Brooke Lopez is allowing 50% field goal percentage when he's the closest to the rim. Jaren Jackson Jr. leads the NBA 46.9% when he's the closest defender to the rim when somebody shoots. And honestly, remember when we had the entire Twitter controversy about Jaren Jackson Jr. Blockgate,
The
and
stats.
people were wondering if the home statistician was cooking the stats for Jaren Jackson Jr. when it just turns out no, he was just incredible at blocking shots this year. And I know that he started the season injured, took a couple I think almost 2 months fully for him
Yeah.
to really come back. But once he came back, you could see the impact he had not only on Memphis but on their defense especially. And I I do think Brooke is a valuable challenger. I also think Mobley from Cleveland is as well. So
Mobley's been very good.
that's why I'm
Aiden
kind of
McDaniels has also been great this year on defense. The only thing I think would really hurt his case was him punching a wall.
punching the wall. I honestly Caruso has been great too. I know everybody
Yeah.
got upset that at the end we finally broke the streak of no guards winning the Defensive Player of the Year award and then gave it to Marcus Smart. And now
Yeah.
it kind of seems like that's never going to happen again.
I think we probably named like first team all defense. Brooke Lopez, Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley, Caruso, and Jaden McDaniels. I think that might be the first team all defense.
Maybe Brooks, maybe Dylan Brooks, even though he is
Dylan,
annoying, but
yeah.
he definitely deserves some recognition for his defense this year. But I am fascinated to see how these awards shake out, especially MVP. It does seem like all the conversation I had seen on Twitter the last couple of days had been pointing to Embiid wrapping it up because it
Yeah.
seems like Jokic fell off a little bit. But even still, I want to know how the top five shakes out because it's kind of like the Cy Young in baseball where you still get credit
Yeah.
for
Some
having
people
a
get
top five
second place
MVP.
and third place
Yeah,
votes. So
yeah, top five MVP finish and coach of the year. It seems I didn't put that on our list for us to discuss because I think it's Mike Brown of the Kings pretty
yeah,
easily.
bro,
I think.
he's been awesome.
Yeah, and I mean the Kings breaking the longest non-playoff streak in all of the four major sports. I think you just have to kind of give it to them by default.
We could also say they were probably the most consistent team throughout the whole year. They stuck with the same identity from the beginning of the year on. Score a bunch of points, defense will be okay at
Yeah,
best, but
and have a lot of fun.
they're gonna score like crazy. And he really helped De'Aaron Fox out.
Yeah,
De'Aaron Fox stepped up his game this year.
yeah, having a career year for him. So I think that'll probably be pretty close to unanimous this year for coach of the year. So that's the only reason I didn't put that up there. But yeah, and especially six man because I think six man could really be a toss up. I think a guy
For a
that
lot of
we didn't
people.
even mention is Malik Monk. I think he had a great year for Sacramento, a team that was third in the West. Bobby Portis. I know this might be a Bucks sweep if we just keep mentioning Bucks players, but they were
Yeah.
just good this year.
No, everyone was good, but that was our NBA awards, guys. This will be a short little segment on our YouTube. And if you guys go onto our next video, we're going to be talking NBA playoff predictions. We're going to be giving some of our predictions. We do know the whole bracket is not set yet, but stay tuned because we got another video coming your way.